Shalom. Give all praise, Yahbashim Yoshua, Bashim Rakakadash, honors, elders, men in truth, on down like-minded ones. We're teaching this truth of knowledge, and we know this truth of knowledge. And the Wadi Yahbashim Yoshua put in spirit all his apostles, men in truth, on down, and like-minded ones teaching this truth of knowledge, so we know this truth of knowledge. And call all Yahbashim Yoshua, Bashim Rakakadash. Give all praise, Yahbashim Yoshua, Bashim Rakakadash. Quickly on relating to news, President Zelensky gives thanks for the supported package after the House passed $95 billion in aid for Ukraine and Israel. I believe it was Israel. The funding was for Israel and Ukraine as well. Continuation of that. You have House Foreign Bills aids, the bill that could ban the TikTok, because that's still up for debate for certain matters. And you have the Senate passes a 2-year FISA reauthorization, I believe it was expiring. That's under the HR 78888 1634. They approved of that. And that's relating to Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Act relating to 1978. And that goes in pretty much, it regulates where they can obtain certain personal information against the acts of terrorism, you know what I mean, gathering, having access to personal collection of information related, personal information on the citizens and people, man, to fight against the fight of, as I stated, man, you know. So that's what that goes to. We're going to go to and the Patriot Act is part of that expansion of that related to the FISA. All right, the FISA expansion. Let me get information on that first. FISA meaning. That goes to Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Act, 1978. Enacted in 1978, this legislation was the congressional response to exposure during the multiple committee hearings of previous abuses of U.S. persons' privacy. So it's privacy concerns because what? They're gathering information, man, probably without permission, just like they U.S. or Google with their personal information, working with the government to gain personal assets and information and different things. Just like these networks, cell phone networks, use your data, sell it to third parties, most of the time without permission. So it's all for their interest, man. And for that, you know, they sell that stuff because it's all about money for these businesses and companies, man, at the expense of people's personal information, man. All right, so that was, and that will go to relating to, is probably tensions relating to that because of privacy concerns, man. All right, the Foreign Intelligence Act Surveillance Act, the FISA, was enacted in 1978. The legislation was a congressional response to exposure during multiple committee hearings of previous abuses of what? U.S. persons, which are citizens, privacy rights by certain components of the United States government. So, Big Brother, man, that's what that is, man. This FISA part of the Patriot Act. Patriot Act was passed in Congress in 2001, reauthorized in 2006, expanded the FISA, which is the Foreign Intelligence Service Act, to allow the government to obtain personal records of ordinary Americans from libraries, internet, social media on the internet, service providers, even they have no form of connection to the T word. So through the Patriot Act, through with FISA, with the expansion of FISA, they can gain access. They have permission to gain access, regardless of privacy concerns, respective privacy concerns to gain access through providers, internet, social media, different venues relating to people's information, man. That's what they do, like I was saying. You know what I mean? Even third parties getting involved relating to using that data, that information for sometimes for financial, selling it, different things, man. And that would go against the Fourth Amendment, which would be liberties of unreasonable search and seizure, man. You know what I mean? That goes 2018, so they violated that. So relating to that, Scripture talks about. I'm going to get Isaiah 10:1. Does NSA use the FISA? The government has instituted many safeguards and levels of oversight to ensure that NSA uses FISA Section 702 lawfully and in a way that protects the privacy and civil liberties of Americans, as they state, as they so-called say. And NSA is what? National Security Agency. Let me go back to what expansion. These articles relating to that. So the Senate bill renewing the key FISA surveillance power in moments after it expired. So it was expiring, so they had to recertify it or renew it. Goes a little bit at. Let's go with some more news. Let me get Isaiah 10:1. I want to get Daniel's. Let's get a NLT, see what it says. Get it from a different variation. What sorrow awaits the unjust judges and those who issue unfair laws. So woe unto you that write unrighteous decrees. That's what that goes to. Laws, decrees, statutes, and different things. They're unfair for what? To the majority, which are majority of people, they're grievous to whom they prescribe. Right? They deprive the poor and issue justice and deny the rights of the needy among the people, man. You know what I mean? So these are unfair statute decrees, man. You know what I mean? They deprive the rights of the poor because they're disfranchised. They have no means or resources to defend themselves. You know what I mean? And so they go against them, man. They deprive the poor of the justice and deny the rights of the needy among my people. They prey on the windows and take advantage of the orphans. So they take advantage of the poor and the needy, man, because they're in a position of power. That's number one. And the poor has no means or resources to counter or defend relating to that. So they can take advantage of them. Scripture talks about the rich ruleth over the poor, and the borrower is a servant to the lender. The poor uses entreaties, but the rich answer roughly. Now the entreaties goes to beg and beseech. So they're at the mercy of the ones in position of power, and they're the same ones that write these laws, decrees, and statutes unfairly against the same people that majority of the populace they supposed to be protecting. So, you know, that goes to the ones in the position of power, man. You know, What will you do when I punish you, and when I send disaster upon you from a distant land? So this relates to the judgment. This is a woe to them, you know what I mean, that the Lord's warning for woe for destruction for these people that do this upon the poor of the people, man. There's going to be a judgment, man. And that's the ones in the position of power, because Job 9:24, the earth has been given to the hands of the wicked. So that's NLT, which is a New Living Translation. New Living Translation. Let's go to Daniel real quick. I'll get it from NLT. It's a different variation. He will defy the Most High. Let me say. He will defy the Most High and oppress the holy people of the Most High, man. So that's the ones in the position of power. They're going to go against the laws, defy him, go against them. He will try to change their sacred festivals and laws. And that goes to times and the laws, and change the times and laws, man. And they will be placed under his control for a time and a half of a time, because he is in the position of power, man. So the earth has been given to the hands of him, so he controls relating to these decrees or forms of laws. Everything's given to him, so he can control everything. He can change the laws, he can keep it the same, change in times, different things. The earth has been given to the hands of him, man. So because he's in the position of power. So he controls everything. This is his rulership. Go to 8 real quick. Let me see. Eight and 25. I'm going to read, I'll go up a little bit. At the end of their rule, when their sin is at its height, a fierce king and master, a master of intrigue, will rise to power. He will become very strong, but not by his own power. He will cause a shocking amount of destruction and succeed in everything he does, man. That's the ones in position of power, man. So he's going to be given power to do certain things, man. And he's going to rule from a time and season. Job 14:5 talk about he's not going to go beyond the bound which he's going to pass, man. You know what I mean? So he's for a time and season, man. He will be the master of deception, and he will become arrogant. That's the ones in the position of power. That's the wicked, man. So they're the master of deception, which goes to being the deceiver, the carnal counterpart who are in the position on earth, man. And will become arrogant. So they will be lifted up. That pride has deceived him, man. And he will destroy many without warning. You know what I mean? And he'll guise it in the form of where it's going to be beneficial. Scripture talks about Ecclesiastes 7:7 talks about surely oppression make a wise man mad, but a gift destroyeth the heart, man. So he's going to form it in something to make it look beneficial, even a gift. But ultimately, it's going to be ultimately used to destroy the people, man. So that's the deception, man. In guise of, or under the guise or umbrella of trying to look beneficial for the majority of the masses. That's why that scripture talks about woe into Woe to you who write unrighteous decrees, and grievous to whom they may be described. And that's the ones in the position of power. So woe to the unrighteous decrees and laws and statutes in forms of where they're supposed to be beneficial for the majority of populace, but they're not, man. So he's going to guise it and disguise it as a form of where it's going to be trying to be beneficial, man, but it's not. You know, so let's read it again. He will be a master of deception and will become arrogant. That's the wicked. And he will destroy many without warning. So he's going to destroy many without warning. You know what I mean? That goes to the craft. The craft goes to the building and the build. The craft that goes to the building and the making and building relating to part of that deception. You know what I mean? Part of that would be through variety of statute decrees and different things, policies, laws that actually would end up being grievous for majority of people, but he's going to disguise it where it's going to be beneficial. Go to a specific one in the near future, man. Revelations 13. He'll guise it as it's going to be crafted. He's going to craft it and guise it as it's going to be something that's going to be convenient, that's going to be needed, and even necessary. But ultimately, it's going to be ultimately grievous to whoever participates in that, man. Ultimately, Shalak. He will be a master of deception, become arrogant. He will destroy many without warning. He will take on the prince or princess in battle. 2nd Ezra 11, 2nd Ezra 13, Revelations 12. But he will be broken through not by human hands. Scripture talks about, will not meet thee as a man. You know, and he's going to come in his power and his glory, man. So he's not going to wait until I take thee into the prey, as Scripture says. You know, so he's going to come against a very, very, very super unnatural power, man. That was Daniel. Let's go back to the news. Revelations 13, that's talking about a certain specific that's going to be aggressively mandatory globally. You know what I mean? Because a certain thing that's going to be a new transition into a certain new thing. And it's going to be under the guy's umbrella that it's going to be needed, it's going to be necessary, and it's going to benefit you. That's part of that craft, that's part of that deception that's going to ultimately deceive. That's to deceive the masses to participate in certain things, man. All right. You have one here where Alron says Israel has outdone Hitler by deleting over 14,000 relating to in Gaza. And a lot of people relating to this Gaza war, relating to Israel. A lot of people have been affected, in a matter of speaking, man. So them numbers are probably a lot higher than that. Of course, a geoengineer is blamed relating to cloud seeding, relating to the flooding in Dubai. Cloud seeding, pretty much chemical, sulfur chemical that's put in the clouds to help produce precipitation related to rain, increase more in volume related to rain. And you also seeing a strange weather pattern moving across the country. So you have to, consider that. But ultimately, it's the Lord. It's the Lord doing things on earth. You had a man set himself on fire relating to outside the Trump trial as well, underway. You having a lot of This woman surrenders after threatening to jump off the roof in northeast Dallas. So the Lord is setting the spirit of a certain spirit on earth, man. The scripture I want to get, Wisdom of Solomon. So that woman tried to commit suicide, man. You get Wisdom of Solomon real quick. I think it's 1:11. Let's see, make sure it is 1:12. I'll read it from this one. Seek not death in the errors of your life. That means mistakes. And pull not upon yourself destruction with the works of your hands, your own works of your hands, man. So don't do nothing that can cause your own demise, man. Let's get it from a GNT. Let me see what it says. Number 11. Or from 11 to 12. Do not bring your own death by sinful actions. That goes to your errors or mistakes, man. God did not invent death when the living creature dies. It gives him no pleasure. The Lord has no pleasure in seeing, that happen, man. You know what I mean? Let's continue on with news. Let me see what's going on. Yeah, Turkish President Erdogan meet with Hamas political leader Hania in Istanbul. We have this relates to the division relating to within the parties with Democrat, Republican. Mike Johnson could lose his speakership relating to Speaker of the House, relating to his job. It's like previous, Speaker of the House. The world appears to downplay Israel's strike on Iran as the world leaders call for calm. That goes for restraint. So they're trying to downplay relating to the seriousness and severity of this thing. The strikes against Iranian military forces continue. Iraq explosion at Iran ally military base. Yeah, the 25th anniversary of the Columbine shooting. We have relating to homelessness, that's an epidemic, relating to spark national-wide debate. It's in Oregon, but really nationwide across the country. It's not really a politically correct thing to, for politicians and different things to really deal or say. So, you know, see what the scriptures. Let's continue on and see what else. This was just something quick relating to that. See what CNT has on here. So the U.S. President Biden signs controversial surveillance bill, the FISA, with the extension of Patriot Act. And like I was saying, privacy concerns relating to that. You have today would be what they would call Chinese Day, multilingual. Linguism, and cultural diversity. Chinese Language Day at UN. Google sacks workers who protested against the tech deal with Israeli government. So pretty much they fired them. A total of 28 employees were fired this week after participating in demonstrations on the company's campus against the cloud computing service contract with Israel. The cloud project Project Nimbus joint deal is worth $1.2 billion and provides Israeli government and defense establishment with Google's cutting-edge artificial intelligence and cloud computing services. Google fired employees that were found to have participated protests, which included sit-in common spaces of the company's California and New York headquarters. 9 employees were arrested for trespassing. No Tech for Apartheid was the group that organized the protest that led to the firing. It's called the firing a flagrant act of retaliation. Google says employees' behavior violated the code of conduct and pretty much their form of ethics, man. And according to the memo verified by CNBC, Google says Nimbus is not being deployed in a weaponry or intelligence gathering. So, you know, you go against that, it's gonna be a consequence. Fire, man. Scripture talk about the rich ruleth over the poor. The rich ruleth over the poor, man. You know what I mean? So, Brazilian woman attempts loan fraud with deceased man. I believe ready to getting a loan by using her deceased relative in the chair. That's what that goes to. See that report too. Venezuela, President Maduro hits back at U.S. over what? Sanctions, man. You have the first fire started when the live wire line snapped and hit a dry bush major. Let me see. This relates to the major fire I was in Maui talking about. Some have speculation on other things where it could have been. Now this relates to that 95 billion. House Speaker Representative Mike Johnson unveiled the 95.3 billion package focused on providing military aid to Israel and Ukraine. Speaker hopes to pass the bill by this weekend. And that's what they're going into. And they passed the bill. So it's 95.3 trillion. 26 of it to Israel. And the rest will go to Ukraine. Over 26 billion. And about a greater portion of it, 68 to 70, will go to Ukraine. Will go to Ukraine. Will go to Ukraine. Roughly 9 billion will go towards the Gaza and 4 billion towards replenishing Israel's missile defense system. 26 billion in aid is support Israel provide humanitarian relief for Gaza. So 61 will go towards Ukraine. About 26 to Israel, and a couple other being to like Gaza, weaponry for Israel, and different other things as stated. 50% of the botched executions in the U.S. were of black prisoners. Pretty much experiments, man. According to Reprieve. So they were used as guinea pigs and experiments, man. Ecuador declares relating to energy emergency. So let me see, yep. So pretty much their levels related to the energy reservations are low, man. Reservoirs are low. So it's an energy crisis. You have something in Canada introduces a new tax on December 16, targeting the wealthy citizens to generate billions of dollars over the next 5 years. Of course, because they make more, they should pay more, man. It's common sense. Instead of 99% of the population, Brunton, where 1% pays only a lesser fair of their share, man. You have, I was in relating to that. Canada introduced new tax targeting the rich. El Salvador to use tokenized debt to fund a new Hilton, which is the Bitcoin. A lot of countries are moving away from that dollar, man. As well, U.S. dollar. African women are face a higher risk of pregnancy risk, complications, pretty much, in a matter of speaking. This is just general news. International Monetary Fund warns the risk to global economy and the new financial stability. You have something relating to, there's a possible wheat and grain drought or a serious issue relating to that, a scarcity. Seen that on somebody's report. So higher mortgage rates driving down residential home prices. Commercial real estate prices have dropped 12% globally amid rising interest rates and structural change after 19. Global stock market increased 21%. The economy's far from stable, man. IMF predicts 32% expansion of the global economy in 2024. IMF says unexpected strong growth in U.S. is fueling the global economy. U.S. economy is expected to grow 2.7% in 2024. Global inflation is expected to drop 6.8 last year to 5.9 in 2024 and 4.5 next year. So they expected everything to go pretty much, man. So when they say peace and safety, then sudden what? You know, IMF warns that global economic growth can be impacted by continuing effects of higher rates and geopolitical tensions. Scripture talks about Sirach 5 and 15. Be not ignorant anything in great or small, man. Be not ignorant in anything great or small, man. So in general, be not ignorant, man. Because it guys in it making like everything's gonna bounce back and everything is gonna be all right. But that may be far from the truth, man. Supreme Court ruling puts protests at risk in some southern states, man. Louisiana, Mississippi, Texas. Decline and hear that. You have an increased flux in these areas relating to the migrant situation. FDA under fire after Americans paid billions for fast-track drugs that prove ineffective, man. Relating to certain medications and different things, probably even vitamins too, man. Pharmaceuticals, billions and billions of dollars, man. Big business, man. The vitamin industry, billions and billions of dollars related to relating to the big business with that. Scripture talks about physician of no value. They are forgers of lies, physician of no value. Job 13 and 4 relating to, we get that. (13 and 4). For ye are forgers of liars, and ye are physicians of no value. So they're forgers of liars, falsifying, fraudulent, man. You know what I mean? Falsifying, fraudulent. They So their physicians of no value. They're futile. They're useless, man. Let me get it from GNT. See what it says. A lot of these medications either has major side effects. Vitamins, they're not effective in what they're supposed to be effective in, man. So that's that form of that falsehood and that fraudulency. GNT. You cover up your ignorance with lies, man. You are doctors who cannot heal anyone, so you're no value, and you're physicians of you're forgers of lies, man. So you cover up your ignorance with lies, man. So that's that fraudulent, falsifying, deception, deceit, man. Let me see what we got here. So this is something short. There's a few relating to news reports. I hope this helps in some way relating to information about certain things going on. There's a lot of information going on continuously. So I want to give all praise Yahweh Bashem Yoshai Bashem Makakadash. Hope this helps relating to information. Shalom. Zayah Wub Shalom.